It's suddenly getting hot, hot, hot! This is a series where I tell you a story, its subsequent theories and explanations, and then I let you make up your mind. This time, people caught on fire for no apparent reason. Spontaneous human combustion. The term spontaneous human combustion was first coined in an article published in the Philosophical Transactions by Paul Rowley as early as 1746. It refers to the reported cases of combustion of living or recently deceased human bodies lacking an apparent external source of ignition. A spark would do it. The strangest fact in these cases is that no burns are found in the room around the body, indicating that victims stayed in the same place, and typically only burns are found under and above the bodies. Forensic research has attempted to analyze the reported instances, resulting in hypotheses, potential causes and mechanisms. Forensics, they couldn't even catch the Zodiac killer. An article by L.A. Perry in the British Medical Journal in 1938 cited the Medical Jurisprudence, a book published in 1823, stating the following characteristics in these cases. The victims are chronic alcoholics, usually elderly females. Some lighted substances have come in contact with them. The hands and feet usually fall off. The combustible substances in the contact with the body sustained little or no damage, and a residue of greasy and fetid ashes with an offensive odor is left. What stinks? Alcoholism is a common theme in early literature, as it was seen as a cause of the phenomenon. In the 1400s, Polonius Vistius, a regular Italian knight who liked wine, women and song, had a disagreement with two ladles of a particularly strong wine. He vomited fire and then burst into flames entirely. More wine! More women! Poof! The Countess Cornelia de Bandy had apparently calmly risen from her bed to open the window in the middle of the night. However, combusted before she could reach it. She was found the morning after, halfway between the bed and the window, with everything burned except her lower legs and 3 fingers. Soot had covered the room. Oh, my hair is dirty. In 1725, Nicole Millet, a wife of a Parisian innkeeper, was found in the kitchen, almost completely burnt, with wooden utensils around her untouched. The husband was exonerated on appeal using spontaneous human combustion as a defense. It was a spontaneously stabbing knife, Your Honor. Jack Angel lost a court case against the manufacturer of his water heater when it was found out he didn't burn from the outside in, but rather from the inside out. He sold his story as a spontaneous human combustion survivor. When noticing a very hot doorknob, a landlady in St. Petersburg, Florida, called on some people to open the door. She found her tenant, Mary Reese's, remains in a 6-foot scorched area of the carpet, a chair and an end table in the middle of the scorch mark still upright, and a pile of newspapers untouched by the flames. Even the flames didn't want them. A passenger on a bus in England called the authorities upon witnessing blue flames in an apartment window. When the fireman arrived, he found the body of Robert Francis Bailey, a homeless man, with a slit in his abdomen from which the blue flames were issuing. It's the Flaming Homeless! The only witness case of a human combustion was from a father who saw a flash out of the corner of his eye. He turned to find his mentally disabled daughter on fire but not reacting and giving no sign of pain whatsoever. The woman survived but slipped into a coma and died shortly thereafter. And lastly, in September 2011, an elderly Irishman was found burned in the vicinity of the furnace on his apartment. After investigation, the furnace was ruled out as a cause and no accelerants were found on his body. When is St. Patrick's Day again? There are those who believe the phenomena simply does not exist. They say that the body is 60 to 70% of non-flammable water and no physical or medical mechanisms exist to make people self-combust. The states overlooked causes like self-ignition with a cigarette, or that the cases are simply normal fires with unsolved causes. Yeah, some people are just boring buzzkills. However, if it did exist, what could cause this phenomenon? One theory also states spontaneous human combustion does not exist, but rather the victim itself ignites from an external force whilst unconscious. The body fat acts like a wax which ignites, and the hair and the clothing as a wick which keeps the fire going. It's called the wick theory. Scientists believe this is why most of the surroundings are untouched. When the candle burns out, the fire stops. I'm like a candle, I only burn away. In the early years, it was thought that extensive drinking saturated the body with flammable substances. Charles Dickens even wrote a book called Bleak House, in which he describes such a case. Evidence proves, however, that not many of the victims drank excessively, and that the concentration of alcohol in the body can never reach flammable heights. Why don't you test that out yourself? Have a drink. Haystacks on farms sometimes burst into flames randomly, the cause being rapidly multiplying bacterial growths, resulting in excessive heat and ultimately combustion. However, the body would succumb to infection before it catches fire. I don't feel so good. Professor Robin Beach of the Brooklyn Polytechnic Institute believes the human body can possibly build up enough static electricity that it could ignite a fire. Some people further speculate upon this theory that the electric field could then short circuit, initiating a chain reaction causing enough internal heat for spontaneous combustion. Jenny Randles wrote in her book Strange and Unexplained Mysteries of the 20th Century that most of the cases occur in America and European societies and could therefore be a diet-related phenomenon. She states that we in the Western world eat food that easily ignites our bodies. Others also state that low-carb diets, sometimes in conjunction with alcohol use, produces highly flammable acetone in the body. Why don't you test that out? I already did that, so sorry about that. Last but certainly not least, a theory purely based on quantum physics. Larry E. Arnold hypothesizes that a high-powered particle called pyrotron exists that sometimes collides with another particle to create a flammable chain reaction. I can feel them penetrating me right now. An intriguing one, isn't it? I'm a little stumped by this one, but I'm not worried, however, because you decide. Did you like the video? Click the like button. Leave comments or start a discussion in the comment box. If you want to see more, you can subscribe to my channel. I have a vlog channel, so if you want to get bored, why don't you check it out? And you can follow me on social media. All links in the description. See you next time!